All right, back on TYT Sports. This is a clip that I've wanted to do for a minute now. It is the who do I really want to win the Champions League? I think if you've been following the recaps while France has been out, it's pretty obvious. I'm pulling for Juventus in the Champions League final on June 3rd in Cardiff. We're also going to start the annual hashtag send Jason and Francis to Cardiff or the Champions League final, and you need to tag at Dave Kohler in that tweet. We try to do this every year. Sometimes we get upwards of 50 of them, and Dave looks at us and goes, no. He's very, very stern about not sending us to Cardiff or wherever the Champions League final is. Regardless, maybe if thousands of you do it and you flood his mentions and give him the attention that he wants on Twitter, give him more followers than Jesus Godoy of the Young Turks, maybe he will send us to Cardiff. Just maybe. I want Juventus to win because I want Gianluigi Buffon to get a Champions League trophy. I think from what I've seen, and I know there were goalkeepers technically better than him, maybe on paper, maybe in trophies. It's hard to match a World Cup trophy, the amount of Serie A titles he has, the amount of Italian Cups he has. But the Champions League is the one that's kind of eluded him for a little bit of time now. 2 years ago, he had a shot at getting it, and they fell, unfortunately, to Barcelona in a great, great final, and now they're back 2 years later. He's 39 years old. But in terms of who I want to win, I do want Juventus to win. I think Real Madrid's going to win because I think they have a perfect team to play powerhouses in world football. They're back in the final for a second straight year and attempting to make history as the first team to ever go back-to-back in the Champions League final and win. And last year their test was, I would say, pretty much as difficult as Juventus will be. They're playing a defensively sound team. They just beat Atletico Madrid. Again, I get that, but I'm saying last year Atletico was a little bit different than they were this year. And the news out of Atletico, by the way, is Simeone's staying, which I thought was really interesting because he was going to be the #1 sought after manager to take over a club if he were to hit the open market. So in Real Madrid's case, it's not just what you see up front. It's not just the idea that you can say Ronaldo, 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 or Benzema really appearing for an extremely important setup or assist or hockey assist in that state of getting Isco his goal, which pretty much put the nail in the coffin for Atletico's chance of making any kind of comeback in the second leg. It's not so much about that. Actually, to me, a lot of it has to do with Ramos's play and how cool he can keep his head, because for one guy, that's the person you bet on to score a goal in the UCL final. He's always the person you bet on to score a goal because his head is one of the most dangerous weapons in all of attacking football, even as a defender. The man has I should say, it's like an eye for net. He's got a thick skull for net. And he rifles balls that come off the corner into the back, and we've seen it happen time and time again. The difference, though, with this Juventus team is, though, that Chiellini and Bonucci have been so extraordinarily good on defense that I don't think Juve is afraid to give Real Madrid corners. I don't think they're afraid to mark Sergio Ramos. I don't think they're going to be afraid to take that challenge and have to work around what's going to be daunting set pieces from Zidane in those situations. They also can score. Mandzukic has been, anytime Mandzukic has scored in a game this season across, I think, all competitions, Juve hasn't lost. Put that alongside the fact that Dani Alves is possibly the best midfielder in world football at this specific moment in time. That's probably a huge exaggeration, but at the same time, Alves has played nothing short of phenomenal. And he was a free transfer and had fallout from Barcelona. And his role in Juventus makes him, I would think, the most valuable person on the team, even with Chiellini and Bonucci and Buffon playing it the way they are. Their back four, don't get me wrong, as a group, plays systematically fluid, if that makes any sense. They're kind of like Jell-O, is the analogy I'm going to use. They're always succinct, they are always together, but they're flexible. They can move. You can shake them up and the Jell-O does not fall apart. That is essentially what Buffon is leading from his net, and that's essentially what I've seen from the back four of Juventus. So I don't think they're going to have a problem with Real Madrid's attack. Now, with that being said, a 0-0 result in penalty kicks is where I think Juve would end up losing the match, because in a penalty kick situation, it can go either way, don't get me wrong, but I don't think there's going to be a high-scoring game. I think 1-1 is the most you'll see either team score. I could be wrong. I want Juventus to win. I want to buy my Buffon green Jeep Juventus long sleeve shirt, but I can't do it unless they win. So, pulling for Juve. That's my thoughts. Comment below, like, favorite, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and all the good stuff. We'll see you over there.